Welcome back to the Model Way podcast. I'm your host, Lenny Wheeler, photographer, model manager, and founder of 42 Model Management. And if you're new here, we are officially a top 5 podcast in the fashion and beauty category on Apple Podcasts. That's thanks to you, our listeners, supporters, and every guest who's helped us get here. I'm beyond grateful. Now let's get into it. Fashion Week isn't just about lights, lenses, and runway. It's about preparation, pressure, and presence. If you're heading into Fashion Week, whether you're a model, a creative, a stylist, or a photographer, this episode is your survival kit. But before we talk about what to pack or how to slay shows, let's get real. Stay humble, because no matter how far you go, never forget who brought you to the door. You know, that agent who believed in you, the mentor who gave you your first shot, the friend that loaned you that airfare just to make it. In this industry, your talent can get you into the room, but your character is what keeps you there. Today, we're breaking down how to prep, protect your energy, show up sharp, and still move with gratitude and grace. Before we jump in, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're listening. And if you haven't already, head over to www.modelwaypodcast.com and sign up for our free newsletter. You'll get behind the scenes content, casting updates, fashion insights, and exclusive invites you won't find on the feed. That's modelwaypodcast.com. Let's get into it.
I know it's been too long to just pick up the phone, but I can't help but feeling so lonely. Yeah. On a Friday night. Yeah. So and so things move on just like they did before. But sometimes I still miss the touch of your hands. Oh, 'cause I can't get you out of my head. Yeah, you on my mind. Yeah, you on my mind tonight.
This thing's not going to be about just runway and lights. It's going to be about pressure. You know, it's going to be about preparation and preparing yourself so you can maintain yourself during the fashion week. So during this time, you know, all these years I've been a fashion photographer and, you know, kind of sending models all over the place and being frantically just running around in circles, basically, just like you probably will be, because, you know, those dates are coming up really soon. We got September, you know, that's probably the main one, you know, so that's going to be your summer, spring edition that you guys are starting to get prepped for. And, you know, like I said, being a photographer all these years, it's just been really one of those things that I've watched people, you know, fail at, you know, and sometimes people succeed. You know, I believe that this year is going to be some of your breakthroughs. You know, I'm feeling a lot of breakthrough for some of you. You've worked hard to get there, and, you know, now it's that time to shine a little bit, you know, so you want to be prepared. I tell people to be prepared in what manner, you know, so you need to start making sure that your digitals are up to date, you know, your actual comp cards. You want to make sure your portfolio's looking sharp, that you shot the right kind of pictures for whatever market you're going into, whether that's here in the United States, New York, LA, Europe, London, Paris, Milan. Those are big fashion capitals that you guys are going to be actually putting yourself into. And I want to make sure that you guys are prepped and ready to go mentally. So really, it likes to dig down to this. And one of the main things, especially for you models, this is to you models, you want to make sure that your model bags are looking their best and you're packed up with the right things that you need. You know, for one, I like to talk about the heels. So the heels need to be a really big, impactful thing that you need to have in this bag. You know, you need to have a nice pair of, you know, pointed classic heel. It don't need to have a huge platform on it. It needs to probably be anywhere between a 3.5 to 4 inch heel that you want to have in there. You know, sometimes people will wear the booty heel, which is really good. Females, guys, you want to have a good pair of Chelsea boots in there, good pair of sneakers, maybe some pair of Converse or something like that you got in the bag. You know, you want to make sure that you got your form-fitting stuff too, your black outfits and stuff like that too, which is going to get you to a long haul in this business, right? Some markets, you know, you can go to casting calls especially in some of the other overseas spots. You can put on your own type of wardrobe that gives you a sense of style, so you're not blending in with everybody else, and kind of just fit that in so you get out there and you make a great impression when you're out there. One of the other key things that I tell you models to do to start prepping yourself as well is making sure that your walk is on. Okay, that's super important. You want to make sure that you're practicing that walk. You want to make sure that you're getting in front of the mirror, doing it, making sure your posture looks good when you're in there, shoulders back, hips forward, all that good stuff. Some really good trainers that are out there. My good friend Willie Johnson at J3 Productions. He's a really good, you can book him. And also Miss Carlotta Lennox, my two favorite runway coaches out there here in the Dallas market that really do good as far as prepping you for that runway. And so you want to get in front of those people, pay the extra money to do it, because I think it's worth it just to get yourself polished up and kind of make some adjustments before you go. Also to you makeup artists, you photographers, and some of the creatives out there, you stylists and stuff, make sure your bags are ready too. Photographers, being a photographer, I tell this all the time because you want to make sure everything's prepped, make sure your drives are all cleaned up. You got really good memory cards out there that shoot fast. You want to make sure that your lights are cleaned up and make sure all the bulbs are working on them really nice and neat. Make sure you got plenty of batteries, guys, too. How many times have you gone on a set and not had the batteries to use your triggers and things like that? So make sure all your chargers and batteries are packed up as well. Those are major things that you don't want to forget. If you're on a shoot, you have to stop everything you're doing, stop your production just to go to the store and pick up something that is needed in your bag. So make sure you got that. Make sure you got all your lenses that are with you too. Sometimes some of you may be shooting with a really sharp lens, whether that's a zoom lens or a prime lens if you have one. Just make sure those things are all cleaned up so you guys have those prepped. Makeup artists, you too, make sure you got all your brushes, all the makeup and the colors and the shades that you need to go ahead and put somebody together on set, because you never know how they're changing stuff. Just don't take one palette, take several palettes. So you got the colors and all your color palettes in bag and in check. So when you're actually out there shooting and there's a change that needs to be made, you can help that model be prepared, whether that or you're working with a photographer that wants to even change something because he's actually leading the set and the crew as a director and the shooter, creative director in most cases. So stylists too, make sure that you got all your stuff out there. You want to make sure you got pins and bobby pins and hair ties and all this stuff that you go, clips and things like that, where you can tighten the clothes, and making sure that you've got everything packed up. Oh, and forgot to tell you too, the steamer that you need to take with you too. That steamer is super important when you're on set, because you don't want to have a shots with a bunch of wrinkles on them where you have to go back, and the photographer or whoever's editing the pictures or retouching the pictures has to go back and clean that stuff up. Okay, so those are major things that you need to do. Make sure that all of you guys are hydrating and making sure that you're looking your best and feeling your best so you can go on set with the energy that everybody deserves. And that's one of the big things about this thing that's super big that nobody ever talks about, is just hydrating. So make sure you hydrate. I just want to remind you that this is your survival kit, okay? So really it's about being humble, guys. Don't forget the people that got you there, right? Like, it's hard work for everybody, right? Like your gift is what got you there, but it's the people that surrounded you that helped open the doors, your managers, your agents, people like that. Somebody knew somebody else that was able to open a door for you. Don't forget to thank those people. Don't forget to thank the people that were around you and your families that were able to put this thing together and just say, hey, look, we support you no matter what. Go follow your dreams. Some of you just didn't even go to school or did any kind of after education or any kind of undergrad kind of education or anything like that, and you're not doing that, and you're making this your primary thing. Don't forget to thank those people that are helping you get there, right? And it's super important, guys, because it keeps you humble, like I said, and nobody wants be around anybody that's not humble. So we look forward to that, guys, and thank you for that. Remember, your mindset is your protection. It's one of the things that's going to help keep you protected overall, both mentally and physically. You don't want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself like that. Just do some pre-ritual exercises and stuff like that. What I mean by that is you want to stretch a little bit, get the blood flowing, get the energy going in your brain, making sure, like I said, drinking water and things like that. So really, and also you want to make sure that you got the snacks with you and making sure that you're carrying along that stuff so you don't lose focus and you're not hungry on set and you're not doing those things, so you're not being disturbed mentally, right? I like to talk about breathing exercises, making sure that you're, when I'm on set and I'm talking to models about relaxing, and because a lot of you are not taking pictures the way you could be because you're so tense, right? Like, let's loosen up a little bit. Breathe through your nose, out your mouth, hard, right? Like that way you get that relaxation and you get that blood flowing a little bit. It just calms your nerves down just a little bit, and it just makes your life that much easier in this business. So I want you to make sure you're focusing on that and pinpointing on those things, meditating. That's another thing that people don't do nowadays. Just meditate. Some of you do yoga, and some of you practice Pilates, and then some of you don't even do any kind of breathing work. But I mean, it's important. But the meditation is everything, guys, because it's just going to help you get into a better mindset when you're going to places and you're doing things, which is really cool. And so you just need to make sure that you're doing that and following that kind of ritual so you have the best results possible. Stay grateful, even under the pressure. Sometimes you're going to meet some names that are just going to be a lot bigger than what you even imagine. Like I said, some of you guys are going to have just an absolute breakthrough. And, just remember that, don't forget to thank those people and give them shout outs every once in a while. Like, hey, we love you. I love you, blah, blah, blah. That makes a huge difference, man. And it makes them want to work that much harder for you instead of you just take until somebody is practically dead because you didn't give them the thanks that they deserve. Give them the thanks, reach out to them and say, just thank you. That's everything, guys. And so that's what you want to be in this business, guys. Just be very grateful. Okay, if you like these tips, I know this was really a short show, but please share the message. Please like and subscribe to the channel, guys. If you haven't already, please head over to www.modelwaypodcast.com and subscribe to that newsletter, guys, because there's a lot of tips and stuff I'm going to be giving on there that's going to help you guys make it to that next level and just keep motivated out there, guys. I always want you to stay inspired, stay positive, persevere, and don't forget there's going to be pressures in this business. There's going to be pressures during Fashion Week, but you can overcome. My name is Lenny Wheeler. This has been the Model Way Podcast. And until next time,